I read 13 books in July, so let's go over all the ones that I read, what I thought, and as quickly as possible, review them all. If you had some favorites, drop them in the comment and I'll add it to my TBR, or let's talk about them. So the first book I read was Just Last Night by Fari McFarlane. I hope I said that right. But it was my first book by this author, and I have to say I really enjoyed it. It is about these two best friends who are part of this close-knit group of friends. And they had one night where they said they liked each other, but then they went off on their separate paths. And then their timing just was never right. Okay, the next one was Rom-Comers by Catherine Center. I've read one other book by Catherine Center and I was just kind of on it. And I know some people really, really love her books. And so I wanted to give this another try. This was just released. And so I was excited. It is about two writers, and one does not do rom-coms, but they are a really well-known writer, and their rom-com script sucked. And so here comes this female that is brought in because she knows the agent from a long time ago. And she is an excellent rom-com writer. She's just not well known. And so here comes grumpy, sunshine, famous, not wanting help, wanting to help, but didn't know that he didn't want help. Anyway, it is a cute story rom-com, and I absolutely enjoyed it. I also read Reckless, which was anticipated for me and lived up to the hype for me. I loved Powerless. I loved Powerful. Reckless is a little bit slower because it is not this Hunger Games type of thing, which Powerless was at the very beginning. And I loved that for different reasons. I loved this one for different reasons because you see more of the backstory, you see more of the tension, you see more of this giving in to some of these desires of the heart, even though they know they shouldn't, and all this kind of stuff. And so you see this build up, slow burn, total cliffhanger at the end, just so you know. Coming number three is in April, I believe, of 2025. So I cannot wait for that. I'm anticipating that. This is going to be a 5-star series for me. I believe it in my heart. Another one I read was Crying in H Mart. This is a memoir. Hit me in so many different ways because this is her writing about the loss of her mother. And because she is half Korean, her mom was Korean. And so there are so many memories tied to H Mart and the ways in which food was a big part of their bond and the culture. And so I could resonate with a lot of that, being Asian American and having those ties to food and family and all those things. And the loss and the heartbreak is you can feel it. You can feel it. Kristen Hanna's Great Alone is a rip my heart out kind of book, but I also got put together by the end. And so this is, if domestic abuse and physical abuse is a trigger for you, this is not your book. I think I've come to realize that that is really, really hard for me. So I might stay clear of some of those books, but this is about a family, a husband that, or a father that comes back from war and is completely changed. He has different tendencies and is abusive. And here is mom who loves him and hopes that he will change. And here is Lenny, the daughter, who is kind of caught in the middle of all of that. And they decide to move to Alaska. He says, I think I need this change to move to Alaska. We need to start over. That will change me. That will heal me. And so they move to Alaska, where they are in the great alone. And with darkness comes darkness of the soul and the mind and all of that. And it is this family story of pain and getting through, and I don't want to spoil it. So there is just a lot there, drama, but it is absolutely beautifully written. It's just hard for me to read all of those things. So I gave it 4 stars. Sorry, this is not very quick, but I can talk about these books forever. So When in Rome was a rom-com by Sarah Adams that I had been anticipating, got it to me on Libby, so I said, I'm going to read this. But it is about basically a modern day Roman holiday. So if you're an Audrey Hepburn fan like I am, and a Roman holiday fan like I am, and a food fan like I am, you're going to love this book. It is cute, it is funny, it made me giggle. It just gave me warm feelings, especially after the heavy stuff that I had been reading. So this is a fantastic, cute rom-com. Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings was one that I was expecting to love because so many people raved about it, and I did not. I just could not. I finished the book. I did not DNF it. I did not end it in the middle because it is kind of like watching a trashy soap opera or reality TV where you just can't look away at this train wreck that is happening with these two characters. You're just like bad decision after bad decision after bad decision. Why are you back here again? So if that is your jam, then this is going to be great. But I just could not. I must say I'm still like, oh, I kind of wonder what's going to happen by the end because there's 5 books. I don't know if there's another one coming, but I kind of just want to know what happens at the end. So I may read spoilers, or if you want to tell me in the comments and say spoiler first so that people, don't necessarily read it if they don't want to, but if you can say spoiler and just tell me what happens. I'm assuming they get together in the end, but alas, hopefully they change. Hopefully they come on this huge life maturity thing. But sorry, this is the first time I think I've given 2 stars. It's just not for me. A Novel Love Story by Ashley Poston. I have enjoyed all of her different ones that I have read. I've read 3. I've read 7 Year Slip, Dead Romantics, and A Novel Love Story. This is newly released, and I really enjoyed it because this is a girl that is down in her luck, especially in love, and in her need to get away, she ends up in the novel in the town where her favorite novel is set. And it is up to her to help finish this novel because the author of her beloved series died before she could finish the series. And so it is up to her to help finish this story that is in the making, and it just heals her soul in the process and all that. It's a super cute rom-com that made me giggle, that made me laugh, that put me through all the different feelings. I loved it. Another one I read was Love, Lies, and Cherry Pie. It was cute. I appreciated the different Asian notes in there because there's definitely something about Asian moms that I can resonate to. I am one, I have one, I know many, so I could resonate with a lot of the things that were in there. Um, it just wasn't like this, ooh, I want to keep reading this over and over again kind of a story, but I really appreciated it and I still enjoyed it. And it gave a look into the publishing world, which was kind of fun. I also read another Kristen Hanna book because, my roller coaster emotions apparently just was not enough with The Great Alone. So I read The Women because, again, Libby gave it to me because I had it on hold. And this one has been raved about as well, as most of her books have. And this one takes place in the Vietnam War, where women just aren't usually serving, right? Or people didn't even know that women served. And so it is from the perspective of the women that served and how difficult it was, especially to come back and try to go back to their previous normal life because things have just changed. PTSD is real, and the way people bring in and accept women versus men is very, very different. So again, very like heart wrenching in every kind of way. So I was sobbing. It's hard, but it was also very, very good. And her writing is phenomenal, beautifully written. So yes, I recommend it. Perfect for book clubs. Great. And to bring me out of that slump, because I just felt down, like, oh my gosh, society, oh, women, we've come so far, and yet we still haven't. There's all these feelings that were going on through me. And so, where I was, I found the Abby Jimenez Worst Wing Man Ever. It is just a short novella. It was super cute, though. It talks about kindness and how much a little thing of kindness can do to the person receiving it. You never know what kind of day someone else is having. Just go out of your way, do something kind, super cute. You just might find someone that you really get along with or the love of your life. Another one was How to Break Up with Your Phone. And this is a fantastic one for people that feel like you are addicted to those smartphones, which are a lot of us, or it's just your device in general. This is why it is built that way, what we can do about it, and how to break up with your phone in practical ways. I would like to put a lot of them into action. So if you'd like to join me, let me know and let's do this because it's a great tool. This thing is a great tool, but if it takes over your life, that's not what you want. The last one I read was Zora Book's Her Happy Ever After. And I have to say, I picked it because I have an A to Z challenge, and this one fit the Z. It is a rom-com. It is about a bookstore owner. There's a love triangle between two writers, and alas, things heat up. But it was cute. It wasn't like my, oh, I absolutely loved it and going to recommend it to everyone. It was a little predictable. I guessed what was going to happen, but again, it was a fluffy read that I needed to come out of my slump, still from the women. And if you're curious where these cool monthly stat graphics are from, it's from Storygraph. I did a comparison between Storygraph and Goodreads if you're looking for a great book tracker, so check out that video too.